Man, my father's thief's land, see me go. My last journey, my last sight of the sun. Never again. Death, who rings old to sea, takes me alive to the shore of the river underground. Not for me was the marriage hymn, not let anyone start a song of wedding of mine. Acorns, my maidens.
With praise is your portion to go and fade with love and good, untouched by wasted and disease, not pain or curse of the sword. Alone among worlds will you descend, and life to the house of death.
Pitiful was the death that stranger died. Our queen once, tenderless daughter, the bark that covered her like stubborn ivy grew. So, as she wastes, the rain snow companion her. Pouring down from morning eyes comes the water that soaks the stone. My own putting to sea, God, his plan on earth.
God's child and God she was. We are born to death, yet even in death you will have your fame. To have gone like a god to your faith is living and dying alike.
O city of wealth and men, I call upon Dirce's spring, I call upon Thebes' grove and Armored plain, to be my witness, how with no friends mourning, and what decree, I go to fresh-made prison too, alive to the place of corpses, an alien still, never hope to living, nor to death.
You went to the furthest verge of daring, but there you found a high foundation of justice, and fell. Perhaps you are paying for your father's pain.
To speak of my darkest thoughts, my pitiful father's fame spread through all the world, the doom that haunts our house, the royal house of Thebes. My mother's marriage bed, destruction where she lay with her husband's son, my father. These are my parents, and I their child. I go to steal of them, I curse to die and wept. My brother, you find your fate when you find your bride, you find for me as well. Death will destroy my life.
You showed respect for the dead, so we for you. But power is not to be thwarted so. Your self-sufficiency has brought you down.
I wept, a friend. I go to the road laid down for me. No longer shall I see his holy light of the sun, no friend to reveal my fate.
When people sing the dirge of their own death ahead of time, nothing will break them off. Leave her there, and let her choose death or a buried life. No stain of guilt upon us in this case, but she is exiled from our life on earth.
Which whom, marriage chamber, the whole house to watch forever where I go. All people for most of the day, Persephone has taken of her. Fated past rest, shall I descend, for my course is run. Still, when I get there, I may hope to find, come as a dear friend, to my dear father, to you, my mother, and my brother too. All three of you know my hand in death. I wash your bodies, rest for the grave, and pour out the last ovation too. Last, Polynices knows the price I paid, putting father's service in his corpse. And yet the boss would know. My choice was right. Had I had children, all their father dead, let them older. I should have not chosen such a case to cross the state of the tree. What is the law that lies behind his words? One husband gone, I might have found another. One new child, the first child's place. With my parents away in death, no brother could ever spring up for me. Such was the law of which I honored you. But Queen Othello, that doing was a crime, a dreadful daring. A brother from my heart tonight takes and leads me out by force. No marriage bed, no marriage song. It's no wedding, so no child to rear. I go, with a friend struck down by fate. Life to the hollow chambers of the dead. What if injustice have I disobeyed? Why in my misery look to the gods for help? Can I call any of them my ally? I stand convicted of impiety, the evidence my pious duty done. Should the gods think that this is righteousness and suffering, I'll see my error clear. But if it's the others who are wrong, I wish them no greater punishment than mine. But taunt my fathers in Thebes' land, a gods of a house. I'm led away at last. Look, leaders of Thebes, I am last of your royal line. Look what I suffer, at whose command, because I respected the right.
Number 2. She went from the light to the brass-built room, chamber and tomb together. Like you, poor child, she was of great descent. She held and kept the seed of the golden ring, which was Zeus. Fate has terrible power. You cannot escape it by wealth or war. No fort will keep it out, no ships outrun it.
Remember the angry king, son of Dryas, who raged at the gods in pain, pent in a wall-rock room? His bursting wrath slowly went down. As the terror of madness went, he learned of his frenzied attacks against the gods. Fool. He tried to stop the dancing woman possessed of God, the fire of Dionysus, the songs and flutes.
Where the dark rocks divide sea from sea in Thrace is Salvagessus, whose savage god beyond the terrible blinding wounds felt the Phineus' son by their father's life. Dark the eyes that looked to avenge their mother. Sharp with her shuttle she struck, and blooded her hands.
Wasting, they left their fate, settled when they were born, to Cleopatra, unhappy queen. She was a princess too, of an ancient house, reared in the cave of the wild north wind. Her father, half goddess but child, she suffered like you.
Elders of Thebes, we too have come one road, two of us looking through one pair of eyes. This is the way of walking for the blind.
Tiresias, what news has brought you?
I'll tell you. In turn, you must trust the prophet,
I have always been attentive to your counsel,
and therefore you have steered this city straight.
so I can say how helpful you have been.
But now, you are balancing on a razor's edge.
What is it? How I shudder at your words.
You'll know when you hear the signs that I have marked. I have sat where every bird of heaven comes, in my old place of argument, and heard bird cries I'd never known. They screeched about, goaded by madness, inarticulate. I marked that they were tearing one another apart with claws of murder. I was afraid, so straightway I tried burnt sacrifice upon the flaming altar. No fire caught my offering. Slimy ooze dripped from the ashes, smoked and sputtered there. Gall burst its bladder, then into vapor. Fat from the bones would not burn. These are the omens of the rites that fail. As my boy here has told me, he's my God, as I am a guide to others. Why has this sickness struck against our state? Through your decision, all of the altars of the tower are choked with the leavings of the dogs and birds. Their feast is on that fallen Parnesius. So the gods will have no offerings from us, not prayer nor flame of sacrifice. The birds will not cry out a sound I can distinguish. Gorged with the greasy blood of that dead man, think of these things, my son. All men may err, but error is once committed. He is no fool, nor yet unfortunate, who gives up his stiffness and cures the trouble he has borne in. For I am right. Learning from a wise counselor is not a pain, if what he speaks are profitable words.
Old man, you all, like bowmen at the mark, have bent your bows at me. I've had my share of seers. I've been an item in your accounts. Trade in Lydian silver gold, pure gold of India. That's your chief desire. But you will never cover up that corpse. not if the eagles tear their food from him and leave it at the throne of Zeus. I would not give him up for burial in fear of that pollution. For I know no mortal can pollute the gods. Oh, old Tiresias, human beings fall, the clever ones the furthest, when they plead a case so well for the hope of profit.
Alas, what man can tell me? Has he thought it all?
What hackneyed saw is coming from your lips?
How better than our wealth is sound good advice.
And so is folly worse than anything.
You're that already, and you have said I lie.
The whole crew of seers are money mad.
And the whole tribe of tyrants grabbed gain.
Do you realize you are speaking to a king?
I know. Who helped you save this town you hold?
You're a wise seer, but you love wickedness.
You'll bring me to speak the unspeakable very soon.
Speak it out, but do not speak for profit.
No, there's no profit in my words for you.
You should realize, you can't deliver my mind if you should sell it to the buyer.
No, well, the sun will not have rolled its course many more days before you give corpses for these corpses, child of your own loins, for you've confused the upper and lower worlds. You set a life to settle in a tomb. You keep up here, which belongs below. Not you, nor any god that rules on high, can claim him now. So the pursuing horrors lie in wait to track you down. The fears sent by all gods, and even you, with your victims, now say that I am bribed? At no far time shall men and women wail within your house. In all the cities that you fought in war, whose sons had burial, from all beasts, dogs, or birds, have brought back the stench, back to your great barn, back to each heart. They move against you now. A bowman, as you said, I send my shafts. You have moved me straight. You'll feel the wound. Boy, take me home now. Let him spend his rage on younger men, and let him calm his tongue. Then now he does.